Have you ever been in a moment with a man where he leans in, touches you, and suddenly you realize he's not just kissing your lips, not just holding you close, but he's going lower, deeper, more intimate until he puts his mouth on you. And in that moment, you freeze for a second, not because you don't want it, but because you suddenly wonder, what does this actually mean to him? See, we often assume sex is just physical, that it's about release, pleasure, or another notch on the bedpost. But when a man puts your organ in his mouth, it's more than technique, it's communication. It's one of the rawest, most vulnerable, most revealing things he can do. Because here's the truth, men don't do this for every woman. They don't offer that level of intimacy unless something about you has cracked open their walls. Now, I know what some people might say. It's just part of sex. It doesn't mean anything. But if you pay attention, you'll notice it does. It tells you how he sees you, how safe he feels with you, and how much he values your pleasure. It's a message he can't say out loud, so he says it with his body instead. And here's where it gets interesting. When a man chooses to do this, he's taking himself out of the spotlight. For that moment, it's not about his body, his performance, or his ego. It's about you. About worshiping, exploring, and prioritizing your experience. That's powerful. That's meaningful. And if you want to understand men, if you want to know what this act really communicates about his feelings, you have to look beneath the surface. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what it means when a man puts your most intimate part in his mouth. Not in a crude way, not in a shallow way, but in a way that shows you the 5 truths he's unconsciously revealing when he does it. Because once you understand this, you'll never see that act the same way again. When a man puts his mouth on you in that way, what many people don't realize is that it's not just about lust or even technique, it's actually about surrender. And that's one of the most powerful dynamics in intimacy, because men are not typically raised, conditioned, or encouraged to surrender. Think about it. From the time they're young, men are told to be strong, to be in control, to dominate, to perform, to lead in society. And especially in the bedroom, there's often this expectation that the man has to take charge, that he has to know what he's doing, which means so many men are caught up in their heads, focused on proving themselves, focused on lasting longer or being good enough. But when he goes down on you, something profound happens. He steps out of that role. He lets go of his ego, of the need to perform, of the spotlight on him, and he gives the spotlight completely to you. That's surrender, and it's not weak. In fact, it's the opposite. It's strength, because surrender takes courage. It takes confidence to say, for this moment, I'm not the one in control. I'm giving my energy, my focus, my body to you. When a man does this with real presence, when he's not rushing through it, not doing it just to get it over with, but really immersing himself in your pleasure, he's revealing something about himself. He's showing you that he's willing to prioritize you above himself. He's willing to let his ego rest and give to you with no guarantee of what he gets in return. And that kind of generosity, that kind of surrender is one of the purest expressions of intimacy. Now, let me be clear, not every man who does this is doing it from that place. Some do it because they think it's expected. Some do it half-heartedly because they feel they should. But you can tell the difference, can't you? You know when someone is giving from a place of pressure and when they're giving from a place of devotion. The real surrender shows up when you feel his presence in every second, when you can sense that he's not thinking about himself, he's there to lose himself in you. And here's why this matters so much. Intimacy isn't just about what happens physically, it's about the energy exchange between two people. When a man is willing to surrender in this way, it breaks down the old dynamic of sex being about performance and power. It turns the experience into something mutual, balanced, equal, and that equality is where true connection is born. For many women, this act becomes the moment where they realize, this man doesn't just want my body, he wants my pleasure, my surrender, my trust too. And that's an incredibly attractive quality, because a man who can surrender is a man who doesn't have to constantly prove his masculinity. He knows who he is. He's grounded enough to say, right now, it's not about me being the leader, it's about me giving to you. So the next time it happens, pay attention to how he does it. Notice the way he touches, the way he lingers, the way he seems to lose track of time. That's when you'll know it's not just foreplay, it's surrender. And that surrender is one of the most intimate gifts a man can offer you. Because here's the secret in surrendering to you. He's actually saying, I trust you enough to let go. I desire you enough to focus on you. And I feel safe enough to give you my full attention. That's what makes this act so much more than physical. It's an emotional language all on its own. When a man goes down on you, one of the things he's really showing, whether he realizes it or not, is trust. And this is so important to understand because intimacy isn't just about what two bodies are doing, it's about the level of emotional safety that makes that act possible. Most people think of oral intimacy as an act of giving you trust, that he's trusting you to let him explore, to let him close, to let him be there. But actually, it's both ways, because for a man to put his mouth there, he has to trust you as well. He's entering a space that's vulnerable, raw, unfiltered, and deeply personal. And in doing so, he's exposing a part of himself too. Think about it, men are not always taught to be comfortable with vulnerability. They're told to keep a certain image, to appear strong, to never look weak. But when he's in that intimate position with you, there's nowhere to hide. He's close, he's exposed, and he's choosing to stay there. That's not just physical boldness, it's emotional bravery. He's trusting that you won't see him as less masculine for doing this. He's trusting that you won't reject his desire to please you. He's trusting that you'll receive him in a way that makes him feel valued, not judged. That trust is what transforms a physical act into an intimate bond. Because let's be honest, when two people don't trust each other, sex becomes mechanical. It's just an exchange of movements, but when there's trust, suddenly the same act takes on depth. It becomes a way of saying, I feel safe with you. I want to connect with you fully. I want to go where not everyone gets to go. And here's the part many women overlook when he does this. He's trusting that you're going to let go. He's trusting that you're going to allow yourself to be vulnerable with him, because receiving is its own form of courage. To lie back and allow someone to focus entirely on you, to let them see and feel you in your rawest form, that requires trust too. And the fact that he's putting himself in that position means he believes you're someone worth trusting with his vulnerability. Now, not every man is conscious of this. Some won't even realize how much trust they're showing in the act. But the truth is, his actions reveal it. You'll notice it in the way he takes his time. You'll sense it in the way he pays attention to your reactions, making sure you're comfortable, making sure you're enjoying it. Those little details are signs that he's not just there for himself, he's putting faith in you, in the bond you share, and in the connection you're building. And trust, once established in intimacy, spills into the rest of the relationship. A man who feels safe enough to trust you with this level of physical closeness is a man who's more likely to trust you emotionally. It breaks down barriers. It opens up conversations. It builds a foundation where both of you can feel secure in being your true selves, not just in the bedroom, but in life. So the next time you find yourself in that moment, remember, this isn't just about physical pleasure. It's about a man revealing that he feels safe enough to let go of control, safe enough to be vulnerable, and safe enough to give you access to a part of him that requires courage to share. That's what trust looks like, not in words, but in action. Because when a man puts his mouth on you, what he's really saying is, I trust you with my vulnerability. I trust you with this moment. I trust you with me. When a man puts his mouth on you, it's not just an act of pleasure, it can be his way of worship. And I don't use that word lightly. Worship isn't about bowing down in submission. It's about admiration, reverence, and the way we treat something is sacred. For many women, intimacy comes with a history of mixed messages. You're told to feel confident, but also told to hide. You're told to be sexy, but also shamed for being too open. As a result, many women have complicated feelings about their bodies. And yet, in that moment when a man chooses to go down on you with passion and presence, he's making a statement that cuts through all of that. He's saying, I don't just accept your body, I adore it. I want to explore it. I want to savor it. That's worship. It's not casual. It's not careless. It's intentional. Because to him, it's not something he has to do. It's something he wants to do. He's not there out of obligation. He's there out of devotion. Now, why does this matter? Because when a man treats your body this way, he's not just trying to give you pleasure. He's trying to show you how beautiful, how worthy, how desirable you are in his eyes. He's telling you that he finds you intoxicating. And here's the truth: very often when women experience this kind of worship, it awakens something inside them. It's not just physical arousal. It's a sense of being seen, being cherished, being valued. That's powerful. Let's be real. There are men who treat oral intimacy as a box to check, a performance to rush through, or something they only do when they feel like it. But when a man genuinely worships you in this way, you feel the difference instantly. You feel it in the way he takes his time, in the way his touch is deliberate, in the way he seems fully present with you. He's not distracted. He's not impatient. He's immersed in the act of you. And here's the part that's often overlooked. This kind of worship isn't just for you, it's also fulfilling for him. Because when he sees you lose yourself in pleasure, when he sees your body respond, when he feels your trust and surrender, that gives him joy, that feeds his confidence. It makes him feel alive, connected, and powerful in the most loving way. For him, your pleasure is proof of his devotion. Worship in intimacy is about more than technique. It's about mindset. It's about seeing your partner not as an object, but as something precious. And when a man goes down on you with that energy, he's saying, you're not just a body I desire, you're an experience I treasure. This matters because worship in its pure form deepens intimacy. It creates a bond where you feel not just desired, but celebrated. And when a woman feels celebrated, she blossoms. She gives more of herself. She feels safe enough to open up, to be vulnerable, to enjoy sex without fear of judgment. So when you notice a man going down on you with that level of reverence, don't dismiss it as just part of sex. Recognize it for what it is, an act of worship. A moment where he's saying without words, you are extraordinary. You are beautiful. And I want to honor that with everything I have. That's not lust. That's intimacy at its highest level. Here's something most people miss when a man puts his mouth on you in that way. It's not just a physical act, it's an emotional investment. Why? Because in that moment, he's not only giving his body, he's giving his focus, his time, and his energy to you. And the truth is, people don't invest emotionally in someone they don't care about. They don't devote themselves fully unless they feel something more than surface level attraction. Think about it. He could easily focus only on his own pleasure, on what feels good for him. That's the path of least resistance. But when he chooses to go down on you, he's literally saying with his actions, I'm willing to put my effort into you. I want to make sure you feel seen, satisfied, and adored. That's investment. It's him placing value on your experience, not just his. Now, here's where it gets deeper. Emotional investment is about presence. When a man does this not as a rushed obligation, but as a moment he actually enjoys, you feel it. He's tuned into your reactions. He's adjusting based on your breathing, your movements, your energy. He's listening to your body. And that level of attentiveness shows that he's not there just to get through it. He's there to connect. That kind of focus is rare. In a world where so many people are distracted, impatient, and self-centered, a man who slows down and invests in you is making a statement. You matter. Your pleasure matters. Your experience is worth my time. And this is powerful because women often ask, how do I know if he truly cares or if this is just sex to him? Well, this is one of those indicators, because sex without emotional investment feels transactional. It feels empty. But when a man invests emotionally, you'll feel it. You'll sense the difference in the way he touches you, the way he lingers, the way he looks at you afterward. He's not just chasing release. He's investing in a memory, in a connection, in a bond that will stay with both of you long after the moment ends. And let's flip it for a second. Why would a man invest in this way? The answer is simple. Because your pleasure is his pleasure, because seeing you surrender, seeing you feel desired, seeing you lose yourself in that intimacy, it gives him something too. It gives him a sense of closeness, of confidence, of knowing that he's created an experience for you that no one else has. That's an emotional payoff. But notice, he only gets that payoff if he's truly invested. If he's careless, distracted, or half-hearted, he won't see you light up. He won't feel your body respond. And deep down, he knows it. That's why a man who genuinely cares will put the effort in, because it's not just about the act itself. It's about the bond it builds. So when a man puts your organ in his mouth with intention, presence, and care, it's not just about sex. It's about him saying, I want to invest in this moment with you. I want you to walk away from this feeling cherished, feeling safe, feeling unforgettable. That's why it's not casual. That's why it matters. Because his effort is his investment, and that investment is proof that what he feels for you goes deeper than the surface. In other words, his body may be speaking, but what it's really saying is, you're worth the time. You're worth the effort. You're worth it. When a man goes down on you, when he takes that most intimate part of you into his mouth, there's a message being spoken even if no words come out. And that message is often one of unspoken commitment. See, here's what I mean. There are certain acts in intimacy that feel transactional. They're about release, about scratching an itch, about satisfying a momentary desire. But when a man chooses to engage in something as vulnerable and giving as this, it often signals that he's in it for more than the surface level. He's not just taking pleasure from you, he's giving pleasure to you. And in that exchange, he's revealing something deeper. I'm invested in you. I'm present with you. I want this bond to mean something. Now, don't misunderstand me. Commitment doesn't always mean a relationship label. It doesn't mean he's ready to marry you tomorrow, but it does mean he's committing his energy, his focus, and his vulnerability to you in that moment. And those are things men don't casually give away. Why? Because for many men, sex can be simple, it can be mechanical. But when he takes the time to focus on you, when he goes out of his way to show you that your body is not only desirable, but worthy of his undivided attention, he's making a choice. That choice is commitment. Commitment to making you feel good, commitment to prioritizing your experience, commitment to building intimacy that's not just physical but emotional. And here's the part women sometimes miss for a man. This act requires bravery. It requires him to be all in. He can't fake it. He can't phone it in. It's intimate, it's raw, and it exposes him to your vulnerability as well as his own. By doing it, he's saying, I'm not afraid of your body. I'm not afraid of your rawness. I'm not afraid of you in your most unguarded form. That is commitment, not in words, but in action. This matters because relationships are rarely defined by what people say. They're defined by what people do. And this act is one of the clearest demonstrations of where a man's heart and mind really are. A man who's detached, who doesn't care, who's only there for himself, won't invest in this way. But a man who wants to connect, who wants to give, who wants to deepen the bond, he will. And think about the ripple effect of that commitment. When you experience it, you feel safe, you feel desired, you feel chosen. You realize he's not just there to take something from you, he's giving you something meaningful. That's how intimacy shifts from being a physical encounter into being an emotional anchor. Now, is this commitment always conscious? Not necessarily. He might not even realize he's communicating it, but his actions don't lie. When he slows down, when he takes his time, when he puts his energy into making sure you feel incredible, he's telling you something important about the way he sees you. And that message is, I'm not just here for a fleeting moment, I'm here to make this count. That's why I call it an unspoken commitment. It's not always about the future, but it is about the present. It's him saying, in this moment, you are everything. And I'm showing you that with every ounce of myself, I'm giving. And in relationships, that unspoken commitment can mean everything because it shows you he's not afraid of depth, he's not afraid of intimacy, and he's not afraid of the real you. So when a man puts your organ in his mouth, it's never just about sex. It's never just about a technique or a moment of lust. It's about something far more profound. It's about surrender, his willingness to let go of control. It's about trust, his comfort in being vulnerable with you. It's about worship, the way he shows you that your body is something sacred, something worth celebrating. It's about emotional investment, the time, focus, and presence he pours into your experience. And above all, it's about unspoken commitment, the quiet message that says, I'm here, I choose you. I want this to matter. Once you see it through this lens, you stop asking yourself, is this just sex? Because you realize that his actions are speaking louder than words. You realize that every touch, every moment, every gesture is his way of showing you how he truly feels. And that's the beauty of intimacy. It's not the act itself that matters most, but what it reveals about the connection between you. So here's my challenge to you the next time you're in that moment. Don't just experience it physically. Pay attention. Feel the message he's sending you. Ask yourself, what is he really communicating right now? And more importantly, are you allowing yourself to receive it? If this spoke to you, if it gave you a new perspective on intimacy, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because true intimacy isn't just about bodies, it's about connection.